Picture a wolf, glowing eyes in the dark, sharp teeth, one of the most feared predators that ever stalked the forest. An animal that could kill a human in seconds. Now picture that same creature, curled up at the foot of your bed, snoring, waiting to lick your face the moment you wake up. How did the most dangerous animal in the wild become the gentle friend sleeping in our homes? How did a killer become a cuddle? It's one of the strangest, oldest, and most beautiful love stories in the entire history of the human race. Today, dogs are everywhere, hundreds of millions of them on every continent, in nearly every home. Tiny ones you can hold in one hand, giant ones the size of a pony, and every single one of them, from the fluffiest lapdog to the fiercest guard dog, came from the wolf. But here's the incredible part. This didn't happen recently. The dog wasn't tamed after we built farms or cities or anything else. Long before all of that, when we were still wandering hunters, the wolf became something new. The dog was humanity's very first friend. To understand how strange this is, you have to go back tens of thousands of years, to a time when humans and wolves were not friends. They were rivals. Both were pack hunters. Both chased the same deer, the same wild horses, the same prey across the same cold landscapes. They were competition, and they were dangerous to each other. A human alone in the dark feared the wolf, and a wolf had every reason to fear the human and his spear. These two predators circled each other warily for thousands of years. They were anything but best friends. So what changed? The answer probably wasn't humans hunting wolves down. It was garbage. Wherever humans camped, they left things behind. Bones, scraps, half-eaten meat, a pile of leftovers just sitting there. To a hungry wolf, that was a free meal. But there was a catch. To grab it, you had to get close to the humans. Most wolves were far too afraid. They stayed back in the shadows. But a few, the boldest, the calmest, the least fearful, crept in a little closer. And those brave wolves got fed. While the fearful wolves went hungry, the friendly wolves ate well and survived. And this is where something amazing happened. The friendly wolves that hung around human camps had more food, so they had more pups, and those pups inherited that same calm, friendly nature. Meanwhile, any wolf that turned aggressive got chased off, or worse. Generation after generation, nature was quietly selecting for one single trait: friendliness. Nobody planned it. No human sat down and decided to invent the dog. The wolves were, in a sense, taming themselves, becoming tamer, gentler, and more attached to us with every passing generation. Scientists call it self-domestication. And slowly, the wolf began to disappear, and the dog began to appear. There was almost certainly another piece to the story too. The puppies. Imagine a human finding an orphaned wolf cub. Small, helpless, impossibly cute. It's not hard to picture a child begging to keep it. The pups that grew up surrounded by people became the most bonded of all. They didn't just tolerate humans, they loved them and saw the human family as their own pack. The gentlest of those grew up, had pups of their own, and passed it on. Cuteness, it turns out, was a survival strategy. What started as scavenging slowly turned into a true partnership. One of the best deals two species have ever made. The dogs gave humans things no tool ever could. With their incredible hearing and smell, they became a living alarm system, barking a warning the instant a predator or a stranger approached the camp in the night. They helped track and corner prey, making hunts far more successful. And on freezing nights, a dog curled against you was pure life-saving warmth. In return, the humans gave the dogs steady food, shelter, and protection. Two predators had become a single team, and together they were unstoppable. As wolves became dogs, they didn't just change on the inside, they changed on the outside too. Their teeth shrank, their ears flopped, their tails curled up and started to wag, their coats broke into patches and spots. They were becoming softer, rounder, cuter. And then came the most magical change of all. Dogs evolved a tiny muscle in their face that wolves simply don't have, a muscle that lets them lift their inner eyebrows and make that irresistible, sad, pleading look. Puppy dog eyes. That expression triggers the exact same instinct in us that a human baby's face does. Think about that. Dogs literally evolved a brand new face just to make us love them. Dogs also developed a superpower no other animal has mastered. They learned to read us. Point at something across the room, and your dog will look where you're pointing, a simple thing that even chimpanzees, our closest relatives, struggle to understand. Dogs watch our faces. They read our moods. They know when we're happy, when we're angry, when we're sad. Over thousands of years living beside us, they became experts in one very specific subject. Human beings. No other creature on Earth has ever tuned itself so perfectly to us. But here's the part that turns this from a survival story into a genuine love story. When you look into your dog's eyes and your dog looks back into yours, both of your brains release a chemical called oxytocin, the love hormone. It's the very same chemical in the very same loop that bonds a mother to her newborn baby. Let that sink in. The bond between you and your dog isn't just in your head. It's the same biological connection as a parent and child. Your dog doesn't just like you. On a chemical level, it loves you like family, and you love it back the exact same way. And we know this bond is ancient because we've literally dug it up. Archaeologists have found dogs buried side by side with humans, laid to rest with the same care as people, many thousands of years ago. In one famous grave, a young dog was buried with a man and a woman, and that dog had been seriously sick. Sick enough that it could only have survived its final weeks if humans had fed it, kept it warm, and nursed it by hand. They cared for a dying dog they loved. And when it passed, they buried it with their own. That wasn't a tool. That wasn't livestock. That was family, 15,000 years ago. For nearly all of human history, the dog was the only other species that chose us, and that we chose right back. Before we tamed a single farm animal, before we planted a single seed, a frightening wolf in the dark, slowly, over countless generations, became the friend lying at our feet. Every dog alive today carries that story inside it. Every wag of the tail, every pleading puppy-eyed look, every happy bark when you walk through the door. It's all the echo of a friendship that began tens of thousands of years ago, around a fire, in the dark. We didn't just tame the wolf, we made a friend for life. And it's still the best one we've ever had.